In this video, we're going to take a look at some text formatting using CSS. To start off, I'm using my layout that I created using div tags. We're going to take a look at how can we format text inside of the main body div tag. To start off, I'm going to copy some text into that div tag. I have a sample document here that I'm going to just copy, and I'm going to put it right into the content area in the main body div tag. Now I'm quickly going to go ahead and just put some spaces in here to separate out my titles and subtitles. And I'm going to use basic formatting. Obviously this area here is paragraph formatted. I'm going to highlight my titles here and make those heading 1. And I will find my subtitle and I'll make that heading 2. So I've got 3 HTML tags going on here. Heading 1, paragraph, and heading 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my CSS rules and now make some formatting changes to heading 1, heading 2, and paragraph. So I'm going to start by going into my CSS palette, either in properties or the palette itself would be fine, and I'm going to make a new rule, edit the rule, and in this case I want to make a tag rule, and the tag I'm going to define is H1. My heading 1, I'm going to make sure it is saved in the CSS style sheet I've already created. Say OK, and I'll make this, I'll use Arial. I'll make it a larger font, and I can go ahead and I'm not going to add an underline. I'll change the color maybe to kind of a dark gray, and I'm going to go into box and I'm going to add margins, and in this case I'm going to just add I'll add a right and left margin of say 15 pixels. And I'm going to say OK, and you'll see it's applied those changes to that heading 1 tag. I'm going to make a new tag for heading 2, and I want it to look exactly the same as heading 1, just slightly smaller. So in this case I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on H1, oops, try that again, right click, and I'm going to duplicate, and this time instead of H1 I'm going to select H2, and I'll now redefine that H2 rule by coming in and I'm just going to make it a different size. Instead of 24 I'll change it down to 18, and you'll see my heading 2 tag has now changed. Let's go ahead and make one more rule for the paragraph text. So I'll make a new CSS rule, and in this case again I want it to be a tag rule. I want to use the paragraph tag, or P. Make sure it's being saved in CSS styles. Say OK. Font family again I'm going to use Arial. This time I'll make it a smaller size. My color, maybe I'll choose just plain black. I'm going to go to box again, and I'm going to do a left and right margin of 15 pixels. And I'm going to go to block, and I'm going to choose text indent, and I'll make a 35 pixel text indent, and let's see what that looks like. When I apply, alright, we see my formatting changes have taken place here. It's not showing my indent, so I'll have to go back in and check that. It should indent this first line here. If I want to change any of these at any time, For example, if I want to center my text here, my title, I can go into the H1 tag and I'm going to change my margins here. I'm going to edit. I'll get rid of these 15 pixel margins and I'll go right into block and choose text align center. And I'll say OK, and you'll see it'll shift that text right into the middle. I could do the same for H2. Once again, getting rid of my left and right margins under the box category, and now going to block and aligning the text to the center. I can put my subtitles in the middle and have my paragraph text fall right underneath. So it's a very quick, easy way to format large bodies of text. Creates a nice look on the page, and everything can be changed very, very quickly.